And in 4, we have the Wesker costume, and Wesker is voiced by DC Douglas, who's also a cunt.
Yeah. Boy, this really is the gone nuclear story mode with OEG, isn't it? Luckily, Laura Bailey is still pretty cool, save for only really doing game stuff. That's it.
Yeah. Maybe the problem is Capcom. Maybe everyone was still reserved and humble and polite back when Capcom was the devil and making all of the bad games and selling $7,000 worth of DLC.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to go back to when Capcom was terrible.
Although, if you're curious and would like to see hell up close.
No, I get it. Back then, everyone was just too focused on just joking "thanks, Obama" in order to really look at anyone else.
No, yes, actually, no, definitively. Let's go back to when Capcom was shit, because when Capcom was shit, they put out 3 different Sengoku Basara games and no Devil May Cry games. I can work with that.
That man.
There's no middle ground with that, is there?
From somewhere.
No, and now we're sort of in the opposite area. We've got Devil May Cry 5 and 5 Special Edition. Still no new Basara real game in 6 years.
And this one really weird, like, mobile Devil May Cry 3 sort of game. I don't know anything about it. It's in Japan.
Did this a day for so very long.
I don't know shit about that game, by the way. I've been occasionally seeing clips for it, and, like, Dante is a weird-looking devil trigger, but I don't know much else about it. I'll have to look into it eventually.
If you're talking about what I think you're talking about, that was just a DMC collaboration with another game, so they just had special Dante and Virgil stuff in that game.
No, it's something else entirely. Like, Dante is fully playable. Hang on, while we have... Wow. While I'm looking at it, or while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and pull this up really fast.
Despite fucking Hideaki being on screen, this is actually an essential stage.
Okay, I think this is it.
Because, you know, we're finally confronting Tenkai after all this time.
Yep. Okay, yeah, just, like, take a look at this later on when you have a moment. It's, like, literally this mobile Devil May Cry game that, like, has DMC3 Dante playable. That is a Bloodborne stage if I ever seen one before.
Oh, yeah, no, they've done mobile ports of Devil May Cry games multiple different times.
But the weird thing is that it's not a mobile port. It's like a straight-up original game, I think.
Do you wish to...
There was a flip phone mobile Devil May Cry 3 game. There was a smartphone. There was an early-ass iPhone 2 Devil May Cry 4 game. I think they had something for DMC. This isn't exactly new. They've done this for every game after 4.
That's the thing, though. This isn't a 3 port. This is like I've looked at stuff for it before. It looks like a straight-up original game. If you want to take a peek later, you can. It looks fairly neat. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, it seems like there's no two ways about it with Capcom. You get one or the other, never both. And if we do both, well, all you get is a stage play. We're not going to do that actual crossover that fans have been wanting forever.
Yeah. I would like to believe I've helped make you a little bit of a Devil May Cry fan by now, at least. I would like to believe that you can enjoy both, like, concurrently.
Yeah, no, I do. I bought them all multiple times. I still like Devil May Cry plenty. But
yeah.
My heart belongs to Basara, like your heart belongs to Devil May Cry. So, wanting to see one or the other, or that crossover that they've teased in various external media forever that we're never going to actually get.
I mean, I'm cool with both. Like, I guess I do slightly prefer DMC, but, like, I would love for both to get love at some point in time. I'm not going to be like, yeah, if I have to deal with one or the other, I'll deal with it, but, like, I wouldn't mind both.
Oh.
Yeah?
Oh, that reminds me, actually, we finally have perspective on something. We've joked a handful of times in the previous sessions about how freaky and disgusting Sengoku Basara would look on the Resident Evil engine.
Oh.
But now we finally have Street Fighter 6 trailer Ryu, fucking Adam Driver in Resident Evil engine, coming off the heels of 10 years on the MT Framework engine for 4 and 5.
I think 5 is actually on the Unreal Engine.
No, is it?
Yeah.
No, it can't be. It looks way too similar to 4.
You shall be the bait that will lure
Let me have a look at that.
grave. With that being
Yeah,
said,
Unreal 4.
prepare to meet your fate.
Which I too am a little bit baffled by that because, yeah, no, MT Framework is still great, but yeah, I guess it's all just being kind of phased out. But
yeah, we now have a point of reference for that. The Street Fighter 6 Ryu trailer, where it's just the Adam Driver meme.
You want to know more about
despite Wide Ryu being daddy level, like, yeah, I do kind of agree. It definitely is, like, we definitely are leaning a little more towards, like, straight realism now.
Tenkai?
Yeah, and it's actually kind of disgusting.
Probably not RE engine, but definitely getting there a little bit.
No, I think they've confirmed it's going to be in the RE engine.
Did they? Oh god, that'd be interesting.
Because if they do everything in the RE engine, they don't have to license out to Unreal.
Oichi, please allow me to apologize. Never before have I
Which I guess makes sense, because you know Capcom is notoriously cheap.
first time.
Was it because you were lonely?
I immediately... Oh god, take it away.
I did not beckon to you, Oichi.
I found
What?
something else. It's not what we're talking about.
Lost, isolated.
I can't
Okay.
immediately see anything as to what engine Street Fighter 6 is running on, but I guess running on the RE engine is not the most unrealistic thing on the face of the earth.
Enough idle
Still looks kind of gross, though.
finish our quest. To reunite with the Demon King.
Rough.
So yeah, despite all of that, we're finally actually being confronted with Tenkai, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna sacrifice you to bring Oda back, but plot twist, I'm gonna bring Oda back so I can kill him myself.
Ball, that... Oh my... Fucking Chad moment right there.
I failed.
It's like, yeah, that's gonna go over well.
That's that's literally the embodiment of if you die, I'll kill you myself thing.
And that should be enough.
Yeah, and it doesn't work, so he's still kind of a fucking failure.
I must go. Because
Feels bad, man.
our enemy will be found at Honoji. Lord Nobunaga, I swear I shall send you to meet your death once again.
Has this pants always literally just been a gradient in the black?
Yes.
Okay, because it just
the-
looks like the shouts are fucking up on him.
The Tenkai costume, yes, and not the Akachi Mitsuhide costume. That costume is purple.
My brother is returning.
She's becoming a little more lucid. That's good.
Destiny. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah, she finally met a person that she was, if not close to, had frequent contact, very frequent contact in her past, and so sort of sparked her brain a little. So she's sort of awake now. A little bit.
What do you think the odds are that Tenkai was the one that was controlling the shadows consuming Oichi, or do you think that's just something unrelated?
I shall go.
That's never stated in game, but that's what's implied
That is to be
in
fate.
the movie and Judge N.
Yeah, because I was looking at their interaction just now, and I could kind of believe it. And also just maybe think that there's never really confirmation as to what, like, creating the shadows around her. I mean, granted, you want to do it anyway, because that would rob you of an entirely unique moveset, but still.
There's a lot that's never really touched upon or explained or stated outright in the games that gets filled in by the anime. Which, by and large, in most cases with this series, is still the best way to experience each story, at least insofar as 1, 2, and the movie, but not Judge End are concerned.
Let that man
Yeah.
meet my brother. Because
Well, maybe not so much the movie, because they changed the conflict from Mitsunari versus Ieyasu to Mitsunari versus Masamune, and I feel like that's making Masamune way more self-important than he's actually supposed to be. But we're back here again for the last time, and I think they sort of clarify that the way that Oda gets revived in this instance, because Oichi survived, is actually that Tenkai sacrificed himself, or was hijacked or something. I'm not entirely clear on that either.
I can believe that, yeah.
But-
that seems to be that's where it was going.
But still, remains uncharred, and life continues.
Yeah, again, goddamn, that voice.
Oof.
Mwah.
Who's that voice actor again? I always forget.
His name is John Fitzgerald. He did not return for the anime. The anime is done by John Swayze, who you would know as Crocodile in Funimation's One Piece, and
Yeah.
I don't like that either. But I'm gonna pull his profile up really quickly.
Any relation
Because-
to Aaron Fitzgerald, or just a coincidence?
No,
Okay.
no.
Damn, that fucking stand right there. Ooh, that's some good stuff.
This is
Low-key a nice reference to the fact that it's probably a coincidence that people in the bet, but Capcom does do this every once in a while. It's being like, yeah, we did make that really popular JoJo Part 3 fighting game.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking hell, out of like every old anime game I ever see people play, it's like always one of the most popular. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's got a bigger following than maybe even Clash of the Ninja. Maybe. Because I see it a lot.
Alright, he was using an alias for something. And I think they deleted the comments that named the alias. God damn it.
On BTVA?
Yeah, he's... It's either his real name or his alias, I forget which one. But one of the names is John Fitzgerald, the other is Keith Zarabashka. And, you'll see in a second, once I pull it up. You're gonna either love or hate this.
Yeah. Big suck. God, seriously, this level does bring out a lot of cool effects you don't see throughout the rest of the game.
Top and bottom.
Gilgamesh.
The in-betweens don't matter.
Well, actually, the city of Gilgamesh, namely, the one I'm not too big a fan of.
Yeah, the bad Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
The Gilgamesh in 12 is John DiMaggio,
Yep.
who you would know as Bender and Waka.
I was gonna say it's fucking Bender. I only know about that offhand because one of my coworkers has been talking about it this past week.
time and
With
Yeah,
whether or
the-
not John DiMaggio will return as Bender for a new season of Futurama.
Yeah, because something about how the new network that's renewing them, yeah, it doesn't want to pay full price or something for the entire cast. Go figure.
Yeah, definitely no. Not reminded of Crunchyroll whatsoever. No.
why would you willingly
This happened first, but yeah,
I know.
no, that's pretty much universal in the industry. You might have heard that back in 2015 or 2016,
So safe.
there was a union strike for
Yes.
voice actors where where they're still not getting residuals, but they weren't even being offered liability insurance for if they actually destroy their throat and it can't work after the fact.
So
They weren't getting any sort of benefits.
So I'll share with you something funny, and it's another one of those instances where I know something is blowing up if even people outside the usual circles I'm in know about it. Taylor saw on her Tumblr feed, and she pointed out to me an article about how this one advertisement in New York, what was it called? New York City Square. What's it called again? Times Square? That's it.
Times Square.
Yeah, there was an ad in Times Square for the new Jujutsu Kaisen movie, and apparently
Yes.
more money was spent on that than on all the actors combined.
That in and of itself isn't actually a rarity. Advertising is the most expensive part of any product. The budget for advertising and promotion can oftentimes be as large, if not larger, than the actual cost of the product itself.
Oh, absolutely, but more so the perspective of this one advertisement in Times Square, the one singular, not even a campaign, like just one. I get it. Times Square huge,
It was a billboard.
but it's just like, god damn. Okay.
I'm used to creeping along the ground anyway.
Yeah, the story as it's coming out now is that each of the actors in the Jujutsu Kaisen movie were only paid anywhere from $150 to $600 maximum for the whole of their work on the movie.
That feeling, I would actually make more money through a freelance editing gig at my amateur level than fucking probably even Kaiju Tang as one of the main characters. Jesus.
Probably, yeah.
I feel so bad for people who live in California sometimes, namely the big cities. God damn.
And that's why, again, people were, the stupid people were in an uproar when the Funimation Crunchyroll rebranding. It's not a merger. It's not a dissolution of one company or the other. It's literally just a rebranding.
Yep.
Just a logo swap. That when that was announced, when Stephanie Sheh said, "Hey, now that you're going to be the most powerful anime company in the country and maybe the planet, maybe you can afford to start paying union dues.
Get some union actors. Get some more crispy in from time to time."
No, it's not that. It's now maybe you can make everyone union. Give, instead of contractors, give people an actual set schedule. Give them benefits. Give them insurance.
Yep.
Not even residuals. They're still not even asking for residuals. They're still only just asking for a fair wage and for insurance for if they destroy their vocal cords.
But you know, redneck country be thinking that actors aren't people. They should just get the minimum wage and deal with it. Even though there's a lot that goes into being an actor, you know, living dues and shit like that.
Yep. That's why you hear about. That's why when you hear all of the younger actors below like 40 talk about how frequently either like 3 to 5 of them end up living together.
Yeah.
Like you hear about how Christina V and Christine Marie Cobnos and Erica, not Lindbeck, the other one.
Mendez?
What's the other one's name again?
Erica Mendez?
Yes, Mendez. And Kira
Buckley?
Damn it. Buckley.
Yeah.
Buckland,
yeah.
Yeah, how at one point, like, all of them used to live together in the same apartment. It's like it takes.
Yeah.
Because it takes, like, 5 people to afford a California apartment where the rent is like $2,500 a month.
Yeah.
Especially when you're living in LA.
Yeah, there's a reason I never wanted to go too much farther into my film career, because Jesus Christ, trying to live actually in LA is just no. You would not believe the amount of stories. I think part of what probably put the brakes on me actually wanting to, he's on a platform, actively wanting to work in film is the sheer stories I've heard about people literally living out of their cars for weeks or months in LA trying to get a good paying job. And I'm just like, I'm good. I'm good. I also would rather not be treated as a subhuman troglodyte for most of my career. I'm good there.
I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but my parents, both being immigrants, didn't actually both come to Arizona at the start. They were actually both lived and went to college in California from UCLA or something. I don't remember where. But what my dad always tried to tell me to scare me when I was a teenager was you gotta make sure you go to college, because otherwise you'll end up like how I was, being an immigrant right out of high school in America with no home and no friends or anything. I was living out of my car in the late 70s, early 80s. Living out of my car, going to college in LA, not being able to afford anything.
You see, now these days if you go to college, you can have a degree and be living out of your car anyway.
Yeah, that was a great meme from a couple of weeks ago, where it's like in the year 2000, people say if you don't go to college, you'll be living out of a truck. And then nowadays it's like even if you go to college, you'd be lucky to be living out of a $40,000 truck.
I saw a different variant of that, where it's like if you don't go to college, you'll end up living out of a van. But these days it's like, hey, if you're lucky, you might be living out of a van.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, fuck.
God, I'm just reminded of I don't know if they ever went through it or not, but a couple of years back, it's like there was an idea floating around of these either Google or Amazon or whatever capsule houses.
Oh, geez, I vaguely remember something about that.
That were supposed to go around in California. And it's like, yeah, your whole living space would be the size of an RV, but not actually be an RV.
Holy shit!
It's like you were supposed to live in it, and you were supposed to work out of it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Oh, it's funny how I'm about to say something that ties together not only Oichi's story, but what we're talking about right now. So literally last night, Taylor and I are fucking around on YouTube, and we see this recommended video for stupidly cheap houses that were sold for either way lower than market value or some other, or were never sold. So frequently, one of the results that this countdown video was giving on YouTube was because a place is around to be super haunted. And I'm talking to Taylor. I was like, can you imagine the content if you were a Twitch streamer and you lived in a haunted mansion?
Oh, hey, there
Dude,
he is being sacrificed.
Holy shit, that would be so fucking cool.
As it died, it clung to the shadows.
You just missed Tenkai being sacrificed for one of the revivals.
I vaguely saw that.
This is a mystery that we may never solve.
But also just instilled the idea in me that, yeah, people our generation and Zoomers, they don't probably want to give two fucks if a place is haunted. If it's housing, it's housing.
Have you ever heard of the TV show Becker?
Through the
Nope.
endless corridors of the universe.
Oh, another unique cutscene.
Hearken to my call.
If anyone was going to get one.
You prevail.
I was kind of guessing it might have been someone else, but I guess this is also the one that would fit the most.
Have you ever heard of the actor Ted Danson?
Come.
Yes.
Yeah, very famous in the late 80s to late 90s, sort of petered out in the 2000s. But in the show Becker, where he played the main character of Dr. Becker, who of course lives in New York because every sitcom in the 90s was based out of New York.
Yep.
There is one joke in an episode where it ends up coming out that in the 90s or the 80s, his rent in New York is only like $400 for a 1 or a 2 bedroom apartment. And everyone's like, how the hell did you get that to happen? How did you get that in New York? And it's like someone died in it. And then everyone gets grossed out by it. That's like, that's really funny because nowadays it'd be like, oh yeah, your rent is $2,000 and 4 people have died in it in 2 years.
The joke I saw even back in 2013 was, hey, if this place is haunted, I'm gonna charge the ghost rent.
Is that too? But it's also like, yeah, of course, people have died literally everywhere. Why wouldn't there be people that die in their own homes?
The amount of grandmas that have died in their sleep, yeah.
It's like, yeah, why would that affect rent?
Because less people will probably want to live there.
But also,
with that knowledge,
give me the place where like 7 people have died and the rent's only like $800.
Yeah, right, dude. Give me the fucking like giant haunted mansion that's like burned to shit, or at least on the outside, and like several people have died. I'll fucking buy that and sleep in there. Hell yeah.
So what you want is Luigi's Mansion?
Absolutely. Fucking, dude. Just like charge the rent or threaten to call the Exorcist or some shit.
It's gonna be a really weird and incredibly dated poll, but did you ever see the show The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
You were not kidding, and no, but I am aware of it.
So the basic premise is that the 2 twin boys and their mother live out of a Hilton, and they get like a fucking penthouse suite, like 3 actual bedrooms in a hotel. And it's because their mother is a lounge singer for the hotel. So for that, they get to live in the hotel for free, and it's like, that would probably cost $2,000 a day?
Yep.
living in a penthouse suite in a Boston Hilton.
Yeah, I could believe that. Well, it depends on the part of Boston, but who's counting LMAO? See, I was about to make a joke. $2,000 a day. You mean the regular New York price.
I'm sorry, $2,000 an hour.
Yep. And rats are your roommates.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, actually, because Washington State up here actually does have like a lot of like really affordable housing if you go way out of the city. Like one of my, I guess, adjacent bosses, he's definitely above me, but he's not like my direct superior. He's in his low 30s. He's only slightly older than I am, but he does own an actual house. But it's like 45 minutes of a drive away from where I am.
Yeah, that's That's what I've seen with all the people that I work with in my job. The people that are in their either late 30s or early 40s is they have a house, but they have it out in
fucking sticks or something. Yeah.
all the way out in Chandler or out in Cave Creek or Queen Creek or no Goodyear. All the way out in Goodyear.
Yeah. Fuck. I barely know what a Goodyear is, but I know that's way out there.
Or all the way out in Surprise.
Oh god, yeah.
Which is like nearly an hour from the city that I live in.
Yep.
But it's like, hey, you gotta find somewhere to live somehow.
Yeah,
I
eventually,
love it.
like at some point, you gotta be like, is the cost of gas worth it? Absolutely. Although maybe
I
not
love
more
it.
so these days.
Your credit score says that you can't afford it. You can't afford an $800 a month mortgage payment, so now you have to pay a $1,500 a month rent payment.
Yep.
This went in a weird place from a story about demons.
Demons also need housing at some point, I guess, maybe. By the way, that
Something-
nuke
something-
that Oda does for his Basara is fucking sick looking with the lighting.
Yeah. Something Frieza was based on landlords and rent sharks.
Yep, the coldest people that Toriyama knew about landlords and business people.
I just remember back to 2004, 2005, seeing commercials for foreclosure homes. It's like, you can buy this house for like $100 or $1,000 or something.
God, I wish.
That wasn't even before the crash.
Yeah, that was well before the crash. Fuck, that was when the bubble was forming.
It's like, boy, I wish that 11-year-old Brandon had $100 to buy a foreclosure house.
Yep. I'll get back to you when I eventually buy a house that's super haunted. I ran this idea by Taylor. I was just like, could you imagine being a Twitch streamer that's also a hot tub streamer, but also the hot tub streamer is like is living in a very haunted house? Could you imagine that content? That'd be fucking hilarious. That's one way to corner the market.
Without getting into anything descriptive, you're off the river, aren't you? You just gotta find one of those lake house cabins that where horror films are filmed at, because, you know, people always get killed in, like, Halloween, always get killed in, like, Cabin in the Woods and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, right?
There's gotta be, like, 40 people that have died in those. You can probably get it for super cheap.
Yeah, Man, I'm about to say something super dark. But yeah, dude, all you gotta do is just get a house that was made before women's rights were really a thing, and you'll probably definitely find something someone was killed in.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's fucked up,
Or, you know, just...
but it's true.
Or, you know, just do the job yourself. Not that specifically, just killing people.
Yep.
Well, my mind was clear.
Imagine being so alpha, you kill someone and then take their
I
house.
thought quite a bit about my life. And in it, I discovered
Oda's top knot is bent at a literal 90-degree angle.
Yep.
I
It's kind of gross. It's like it's just a frozen bone.
remove you from this world.
I kind of hate it.
Yeah.
I just wish it just pointed. Wish it just pointed directly upwards.
I
Like
don't even know why
Hideyoshi's
it
does.
looks like that. Like, why that design decision? God damn it. Also, this is sort of touching,
like-
I guess.
It's like his hair got caught in a Chinese finger trap.
Also, shout out to the massive amount of veins running on his face.
You're here.
Yeah,
I am here.
I think it might be the most detailed model in the game, actually.
You're not lonely.
Trying to be gentle and soft with the fucking Demon King. That's, fairly funny.
Yeah, she's just sort of come to terms with everything. You know what? We're both demons. Our place is together. So let's
Let us rest,
fall into hell together.
dear brother.
And they're in a really awkward and uncomfortable position, considering, again, that's her brother
Yeah.
that she's
Yeah.
laying on.
Oni-chan, sorry.
But you know, this is Japan.
Yep. Joke's on you, they actually just teleported in time to the Sengoku Basara 4. They're gonna pop back up and nothing really happened. LMAO.
You know, You know, the funny thing is you could say that and I believe you because 4 is sort of a reboot.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's how you managed to have Oda back and Hideyoshi back and Ieyasu in the same time. It's like we've gone back to the Capcom's phrasing on the matter was we've gone back to the genesis of the Sengoku era. That's why we have Ieyasu, Hideyoshi, and Oda, as well as Ashikaga Yoshiteru, the as far as I remember it, the first shogun ever.
Oh, the guy voiced by Char?
Yeah, the guy that looks like Shanks.
Yes, and is voiced by Shanks. I guess that does sort of add up. So, I guess next time we might be covering in our story mode. Who knows? More to come on that.
The apex. We've reached the apex. There's a light. There's a light at the end of this tunnel. How happy are you?
It's more surreal than anything else. Hey, that's okay. We can make Yu-Gi-Oh! Our next long-term project.
Oh yeah, we will, won't we?
Yeah, don't worry. That's going to be extra fun. And I will make sure of it.
Have a good night.
Boy.